Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are here to talk about a very interesting eyeshadow palette. So if that is something you're interested in watching, then you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you have seen that recently I have been very impressed with a palette that is full of these foiled shimmer shadows that I recently found, and I genuinely think this may be the best foil palette formula that I have ever come across. I was blown away by this palette. So there are a lot of guesses on Instagram about what this palette could possibly be. I did put a little bit of a sneak peek on Instagram with some swatches from the palette using just a brush with no Fix Plus or anything else, and in the comment section there were lots and lots of guesses and nobody guessed who's made this palette. The answer to that is Makeup Revolution, and the name of the palette is called the Foil Frenzy palette. Now I have been putting this sucker through the paces over the course of the last couple of weeks, mainly because I was so shocked at the payoff from this formula. I wanted to really just kind of put it through the ringer and do lots and lots of wear tests, put it through all of its paces as far as application was concerned, because I wanted to see how far I could really push this formula. Now you guys know me, I am a huge fan of mattes. However, I really do like a little bit of shimmer on the lid. It's really nice if you're looking just to kind of accent or brighten up the eye. Even if you have crepey lids, it's nice to find a foil that doesn't really over accentuate your crepey lids. Now I have incredibly crepey eyelids and I love this formula because it's so unique. They are pigments that are not pressed. They've been poured into the palette. So it's called a poured pigment, which gives these a very unique texture. Before we actually get into this, let me go ahead and show you guys what this palette looks like close up. It's so pretty. There are just about every accent color that you can think of to use for an eyeshadow look is in this palette. I can honestly tell you guys this has been front and center on my vanity because I work with a lot of other palettes to get like transition shades, my shading done underneath the eye, a lot of my shading that I do out here in the outer V, and then I've just been popping some shimmer, you know, on that first quarter of my lid because I really like that look, and this has been a great palette to reach for those times where I just want to accent with a shimmer on the lid. But let's take a good close-up look at this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I am going to show you a picture of what this looked like before. My hands got all up in here so you can just kind of see what the palette itself looks like. So Makeup Revolution again calls this their brand new extraordinary formula. This is a palette in which the pigment is poured, not pressed. So each individual pan is going to offer you this really gorgeous creamy texture, and it just transforms into this very silky powder on your lid upon application, and it really gives you this incredible high shine finish. They're just stunning in the pans themselves, but when you apply them to the eye, they genuinely are amazing. So again, this is a brand new formula for Makeup Revolution, and I think they've really stumbled upon a winner here. These are so unique in texture. They're this very cream it's a very creamy feel in the pan itself. It's very kind of squishy, and it just feels like a cream, but once you apply it to the eye, it transforms into this incredible high shine foil that is stunning. Now, some of the shades in here are more like just shimmer shades. So this pink right here is kind of like just a basic shimmer, and then you have the green right here, which is more of a basic shimmer. So even within the palette, they still have depth and dimension. So some of these come off as just like really pretty satiny, shimmery shades, and then some of these come off as even like toppers. Even though this white one is incredibly intense, it's beautiful as a topper on top of any other shade. And then you just have some of these in here that are just strictly liquid metal, is what it looks like when you put it on your eye. They really are stunning, and there are a lot of different ways that you can apply this palette as well. But before we get into application, I do want to show you guys some swatches. So let's take a look at these swatches really quickly. They are stunning. So I'm going to lay these down real quick. The first couple of ones I'm going to lay down are the ones that are more like toppers, and then we'll put the really good foil ones there towards the end. And I'm going to take you guys outside because I really want you to take a look at this formula. So the first few down here are more like shimmer shades. They're a little more like toppers, like this silver, the gold, the little light pink right there. They're beautiful as toppers, but then beginning with that burnt orange and all the way up, it really gets into these amazing foil shades that look so good on the eye, especially more mature crepey lids, because the formula is so creamy and smooth and incredibly long lasting, and this is indoor light, and they look just as good inside. So there are a couple of ways that you can apply this formula. So the first way, and the most effective, obviously, I feel like, is with your finger. You can really just stick your finger in here and just go straight onto the lid, and it just looks gorgeous. I have this shade right here on this part of my lid tonight. So you can go in with your finger. You can just rub your finger in here and then just press it on your lid, and it just looks gorgeous. But one thing that I also like about this is that there are a lot of these in here that are brush applicable. So if you have like a dense brush like this just happens to be the number 50 brush from the Kat Von D brushes. I just like these brushes because they have a really long handle, and I'm a sucker for a long handled eye brush. But this one was made specifically for shimmer shades. It's a very dense tip up here, so you'll notice that the hairs are synthetic and they're cut really short and really dense. So any brush that has a tip like this will work great for the technique I'm about to show you. Now, normally if you were to go in with just your regular brush, so if you were to just go in with, say, this brush right here, and we'll pick this shade right here and we'll wipe it in there really good, and then go to the back of the hand. Typically, these kinds of just regular fluffy eyeshadow brush, they don't work well when it comes to shimmer shades. They just don't. So you really want to specifically look for a brush like this. Now we can take this brush and dip it into the same pan right here. We'll do this burgundy, and you want to really kind of press and rub, and it really will lay it down on the lid. So if this was my lid, I would just be doing this, and it will lay it on there really pretty, and it just has this beautiful, I love this color on the lid. It looks gorgeous. So you can use a brush. Now, another way that they also recommend it is wet. So a lot of these, if you get it onto the brush and then you spritz it with some Fix Plus and then go in, it really does give it kind of that liquid metal type of look. It's really pretty on the eye, especially this color right here, this white color on the inner corner right in here just makes your eyes pop. It's absolutely stunning. And the best part about these, you guys, is this is a $10 palette. I think that they have done such an incredible job with this formula. I think everybody should have this as a staple in your shadow collection. I mean, come on, look at that. It is, you guys, it really is crazy. And these foiled shadows just, they look absolutely stunning on the lid. They last forever. You don't really have to put any primer down or glitter glue, and they stay on there where you put them. I even like that some of the darker shades, like this one here specifically, I've used a lot because you can blend the edges out and it will actually work as kind of like a darkening shade in your outer V. It also has this beautiful kind of shift to it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it here, but it has this really pretty kind of, I want to say almost like an orangey undertone. So it's like a brown, but it has this really pretty orange undertone to it, and there are just a lot of shades that have really unique features to them in this palette. Now, some of the shades that are in here, like for example, this looks like a very kind of bronzy shade when you just look at it in the pan, but when you swatch it out, it really has this really pretty kind of orangey undertone to it that is just, look at that, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's just unbelievable how beautiful these are, and they just look so smooth, like on your lids, especially for us more mature women. It's hard to find a foil shadow that just looks that smooth on our lids, because anything typically that has that highlightiness to it will accentuate crepey lids or lids that have texture on them, and these don't. They're so smooth and so creamy, and I think a lot of that has to do with there is a little bit of dimethicone in these poured pigments, and dimethicone is what is in our pore filling primers that give us like that smooth canvas to work on. So I think the dimethicone is what is really paying off in these poured pigments as far as the smoothness is concerned on the lid. But you guys, for 10 bucks, I cannot recommend this palette any more. It is genuinely a work of art. It's absolutely stunning. And like I said, you have a really good color breakout here. So you can do just, you know, a brown transition color and then just put any pop of color on your lid and you're good to go. This is supposed to be a black in the palette, but it has this gorgeous blue undertone to it. Really, really pretty shades, and it's a $10 palette, you guys. You can find this at makeuprevolution.com. I will make sure that I have it linked down in the description bar below. I did do a Makeup Revolution haul that I am going to go over with you guys. There are a couple of products in there that I'm still testing. This one I had to get you guys like right now because I was so excited about the performance. I wanted to get up here and make sure that I shared it with you. So definitely check it out, you guys. It'll be the best $10 you spend on a foil shadow like ever. It is almost like putting those Stila liquid eyeshadows in a palette. That's how stunning they are. Alright guys, well that is it. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Feel free to hit the subscribe button on your way out. If you guys have any questions, you know you can DM me over on Instagram at ErikaApproved. And as always, I hope all of you guys are very happy and very healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video.